Hello everyone, this is Paul, and first of all let me wish you a very happy new year 2017. May you get anything and everything and more that you want in this year of 2017. I said that I would answer questions as they were sent in, so I'm going to take a question here. I'm going to do my best to answer it for you. Hope you get some insights from it. Antonina from the UK writes, I want a man's perspective on quantum shifts in life and in business. Great question. And by quantum shifts, I understand that to mean those leaps of growth that are over and above normal, small, regular, average leaps. Those leaps of growth in life and business that really make a difference. They seem to set you on a new course, thus calling them quantum leaps. So I'm happy to give you the man's perspective. My real perspective is for men and women, and then of course I'll tweak it with a man's view. And the only reason I have the man's perspective on it, according to the question, is that I really feel that men, by nature and by environment, especially in this country, by environment, have more of a challenge getting in tune with their consciousness and with their feelings and their emotions. And so sometimes their awareness is not as rapidly developed as women, although I can tell you I know many men with whom I have conversations and friendships and relationships with that are highly evolved, conscious, aware men. And so women, take heed, take note, it can happen. But back to the question, quantum leaps. I think quantum leaps in life and in business come as a result of an intense emotional experience that you have of failure, of something negative that happened in your life. For example, I'll give you 3 examples. For example, you might have experienced a death in your family, a death of a loved one. I know this to be the case because my brother passed away several years ago from stomach cancer, and it really created a shift in me about my ideas of theology, of God, of the universe, and really clarified some things for me. But you might have had this experience, and so that experience, the pain of that experience, has created in you this awareness of living every day to the fullest, living life to the fullest, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. You had that pain, and then you had the quantum shift. You may have another example here. You may have had, let's say back in grade school, you were one of those kids that got called fat and ugly. And this was really painful to you. So now you've developed a life of health and fitness and wellness, and you take care of yourself. All of this as a result of the pain that you experienced in grade school. Another example, final example for this area is the area of wealth. So perhaps at some point in your life you suffered financially, maybe you went through a bankruptcy, maybe you fell on really hard financial times, and you made a decision out of the pain that you were never going to experience that kind of financial struggle again. And so you've built a life of wealth, and you've built a life of reserves and of income in order to avoid that pain from the past. The key is, can you take each of those experiences, or can you take a painful experience, learn from the pain, create the shift, avoid the pain, and then move toward the pleasure of the results of that new decision? With regards to wealth, can you see all of the pleasure that comes from philanthropy and from giving and from sharing your wealth and from not having the worry or the fear of having to worry about money? With your health and fitness, can you see the joy, the pleasure of living a healthy, vital, active, vibrant life? Do you see, with the example of the loss of a loved one, the pleasure of everyday living with joy and appreciation and gratitude? So out of a painful experience, we can then have a major shift in life and in business. And in order to avoid that painful situation, we now move into a pleasurable situation, or a situation where we see the joy. And that's really the key of it, the key to it. And that is, any situation that you have in your life that is difficult, can you see it for what it is? Can you acknowledge it for what it is? Can you move through it feel those feelings, feel those emotions, move through it, replace the negative consequences, replace the negative behavior, the negative actions from your learning, make a shift, make a change, and then create a new pleasurable path, a new pleasurable journey for your life in any specific area, life or business. With regard to men, I think it's just basically a societal thing that that we're faced with. And that is, we're taught to be tough and not to cry and not to show emotion and, to be strong. And while all of those things have their place sometimes, I suppose, especially to be strong and to be tough, right? I remember in my house, there was a mantra that, there were two really that my father hung on the wall. One of them was, success is ABC, ability, brawn, and courage. And the other one was, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So, all of us, my brothers, we were all taught, be tough, be tough. And so I think that gave us a certain competitive advantage in life. And at the same time, as men, we get to really pay attention to our level of consciousness and the awareness that we have of our feelings, of our intuition, of our emotions, and really respond with the depth of our emotions in situations, because that's where the real richness is in life, and not avoiding feelings and not avoiding pain just because we're supposed to be tough, right? So how do you do this? Well, anytime you have an uncomfortable situation, a painful situation, especially if it's of a very grievous nature, right? A very deep nature, feel it, own it, learn from it, accept it, release it, and then replace it with your new joyful path. And you can do this on purpose as well. Maybe your health and fitness, let's just say, hasn't been an area of focus, and maybe you're not, in poor health, but you'd like to be in better health because you want to add another 10, 15, 20 years onto your life, or give yourself that best shot, right? Then you can put on yourself the displeasure of what it's going to cost you by not taking care of yourself, and then immediately replace it with the pleasure or joyful sensations of what it'll take or what will happen when you really take good care of your health and your fitness. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your question, Antonina. And any of you, if you have a question, please feel free to write in the group your question. I will do my best to give it my best answer from my perspective. And anytime any of you want a strategy session with me, you go to paulmontalongo.com/strategy, book an appointment, fill out the questionnaire, and I'm happy to have a jam session with you for 20 minutes. Hope this helps, and I will talk to you again soon with answers to more questions.